Do you want unlimited leads on autopilot? Then this video is for you. I'm building a high-intent email scraping system that finds decision makers from LinkedIn that actually need what you sell right now. I add them to a cold email campaign just like this one, and then I can email thousands of leads pitching them my services. All of this without relying on Apollo. Now, if you're not up to date with what's happening with Apollo in the lead generation world, let me fill you in. For many years, people have been sourcing leads using Apollo scrapers. Now Apollo, it's a company that lets you get leads, but you have to pay a subscription. 60, 90, several hundreds a month, depending on the tier. Creative people had come up with a way to actually scrape those exact same leads from Apollo for way cheaper. The solution was this marketplace of scrapers called Apify, where you could get 1,000 leads for $1 to $5, basically skipping the payment to Apollo itself. Now, what happened? Few weeks ago, Apollo went to Apify and had them crush all these actors. This is why I built this system that sources leads directly without relying on Apollo scrapers, so that you can still conduct large-scale cold outreach campaign just like before. This system solves two problems. We are not relying on Apollo scrapers since they were banned, and we make sure our leads have the exact same problem and the budget to buy our services to solve their issue. If you also want to add personalization to this system, watch this video up here. Now let's walk through the implementation. I will search jobs posted on LinkedIn. This way, I confirm the company I will contact via email needs those services and is willing to pay for them right now. Let's say I'm a software company selling documents processing services. I can automatically reconcile purchase orders with invoices. I could search for jobs like payroll specialist because they are the ones usually performing these type of tasks manually, and it's a big chunk of their job. Then I would find the CEO of that company, emailing them, say, hey, I saw you were hiring. I achieved the same result, but using systems at a fraction of the cost of an employee. Let's see the implementation for the first step, scraping the jobs. I will use Apify, the marketplace of scrapers. I found one scraper that I like, it's pay per result. This one takes as input my LinkedIn URL. The URL contains all my search criteria, all the filters that I added. I can add one search or multiple. And just click start. Let's go to LinkedIn. If I search for a certain criteria and location, I can add all the filters. When I'm done with filtering, I just copy the URL, add it here in the scraper, and click start. Once the scraper will finish, I will have one run. This one had, for example, let's look at the price. We have 2,000 results for $2, so it's very affordable. Let's see how the data set looks like. In output, we can see the information. At this point, we have the URL of the job, together with the company description, company LinkedIn URL, logo, and website. Website of the company who posted this job. Here is the plan. I want to take all the output from this scraper run, go through the job description, and filter it so that I can only target the job descriptions that match my criteria. I will go to storage, copy the dataset ID, and paste it into N8N. I used this HTTP node to bring the results from Apify here in N8N, and I will just replace the dataset. To make sure I only store freshly scraped jobs, I verify if these newly scraped ones already exist in my database or not. Fancy word for database, I'm just using a spreadsheet, so this is how it looks like. I have one sheet for the jobs. I'm using ID as a unique identifier. This ID comes from the LinkedIn posting itself. So I'm checking, hey, are the IDs in the sheet overlapping with the ones that you just scraped? If yes, then skip them, and I only want you to add the new ones. In this node, I will basically have a new a new chunk of listings added at the end of my jobs here. Next, because I want to have a hyper-targeted outreach, I want to look at the job description itself and filter it to make sure that job description actually has the tasks that I want to look for. In my case, I will use one prompt saying, hey, go through this job description, which I scraped using Apify, and tell me if that job description has certain tasks. And please return true if the job is a fit or false. Now, to be able to track it further, I will also output the ID of the job so that I know, hey, for this certain ID of the job, I have true, and for the other, I have false. Next, the goal is to filter them. So I only want to store the job descriptions which are a fit for my goal. Now, at this moment, I have in my Google Sheet only job descriptions that are a perfect match for what I'm searching. The goal is to find the decision maker of that company, the second step, and email them. So at this point, we can say we scraped the job listings and we are now at the second step, finding the decision maker of that company. To find the decision maker, I'm using a third-party service called Email Finder. As input, I will say, hey, I only want CEOs, but you can search for founders, co-founders also. I will feed the domain, because remember, the output from this scraper contained the company website. Based on the website, we can have the domain. If we go to the right, we will see we scraped the company website. Because we have it, we just use a JavaScript expression and extract the domain itself. We have the domain together with the company name. Based on this information, an email finder will return the CEO's full name and email. This is the official page of an email finder. If you go to the API documentation, for our request, we can see what parameters we can use. We have here some examples. In my case, I use CEO, but you can do other searches like finance, HR, logistics, marketing, together with the domain and the company. We are using this exact endpoint, and the result will contain the email of the CEO in my case, the status of the email valid, full name, and the LinkedIn. Because we have the email, we will be ready to pitch them our services. Once an email finder gave us all the information about the CEOs, I want to only store in my Google Sheet the CEOs with email status valid. This is how the Google Sheet looks like. I have the CEOs in one Google Sheet and the jobs in the other. I will have full name, title, email, company name, together with the job ID. So I started my search from a job posted with this ID, and I found the CEO for the company which posted this particular job. Next, besides the email verification from an email finder will return a status valid or invalid for that particular email, but I want to be extra sure that whenever I will add this email to my cold outreach campaign, those won't bounce. To make sure they are safe to add to this campaign, I will use a third-party service just to verify the emails, and this service is called Million Verifier. This is how it looks like. Million Verifier, this is their website. It takes as an input a file. In my case, I will upload the CSV, but you can add other formats as well. And the result will be good, risky or bad for each email. My goal is to only use the emails with status good in my cold outreach campaign. I'm basically building up my CSV file. Here I added all the CEOs, start a job with million verifier, and whenever the job will finish, then I will download the verification status. Here I just have a polling mechanism waiting for the job to finish. Hey, is the status finished? If not, wait and try again until it finishes. At this point I will have my CSV file and I'm ready to filter only the emails with status good so that I can store them in my Google Sheet. I add the million verifier status on column F, and some of them are good. Some of them have no status at all, and the idea is I won't email those ones. I only use the ones with status good. Because I want to use also the company name as a parameter in my email, I need to clean up the company name. Some of the companies have LLC or incorporated or comma in the name, so I will use a prompt to clean it up, saying, hey, remove all the legal forms, limited, all the symbols, trademark, registered. And for each clean company name, also output the job ID so that I can know which one you cleaned it up for. Once I have the output, I can update the sanitized company name in my Google Sheet. I have the original company name with, let's say, a bad formatting, and I added the cleaned up company name on this column. I only did the cleanup for the emails which are good, to be mindful of the tokens that we are burning, right? Because we are doing this via an LLM. Just being mindful of the budget. At this point, we found the decision makers. We also verified their emails. And there is only one step left, which is adding them to an Instantly campaign. To do so, at this moment, if we look at the sheet, we can see that we only have the full name. This is what an email finder gave us. But I want to say in my email copy, hey Gregory, hey Matt. So I would need to split full name into first name and last name. To do so, I will use this prompt, which will take as input the full name of the person, and the output it will be first name, last name and the job ID so that I can track it easily and store it in my Google Sheet. And then I will add my CEOs with email status good in my Instantly campaign. I am using /leads endpoint, and the variables that I'm adding are the campaign ID, which was created manually, the email of the CEO, first name and company name, but the one which I cleaned up, which is sanitized. If we go to Instantly and see where is this ID, it is in the URL. So if I just copy the URL that you cannot see at this moment, this is how the URL looks like, and the ID it's this part. So I just copied my ID and placed it here in the JSON. Next, to be able to run this multiple times without having any duplicates, I will update my status in the Google Sheet. So I have a column that says, hey, this lead was already added to Instantly campaign, and I can avoid any duplicates. And at this moment we have our leads added here. We have the emails together with the first name and the company. We are ready to bulk email these leads. So, do you want unlimited leads on autopilot? Grab this exact system from the first link in the description.